Hello guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to make ROMA'S Kitchen Special Orange Chicken. No takeout needed once you get this recipe right. So if you want to see how it gets made, you know what to do. Stick around right after this intro.
Can't cook. Think you know you pay your pretty look. You want to live a restaurant and come done man bank book. Cook, recipe book.
So I'm only using 2.5 boneless chicken thighs for this recipe. I went ahead and cut the chicken thighs into some small bite-sized pieces and I washed this with some lemon and water. Now to season, I'm only going to add 1 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning because only the batter is normally seasoned for this, but I just had to add a little seasoning, so I'm just adding only a teaspoon. I'm now just going to mix everything together, just rub it all over my chicken. Then I'm just going to set this to the side. Then now in preparing the batter, not much is required. This is an easy recipe. So first things first, I'm going to go in with 1 tablespoon of salt, and if you're watching the amount of salt that you use these days, you can just add a 1/4 tablespoon less of salt. So you could just add 3/4 tablespoons of salt. And next you can use either white or black pepper, but today I'm going to be using some white pepper. I'm going in with 1 teaspoon, that's half teaspoon. Then I'm going to be adding another half teaspoon, so 1 teaspoon of white pepper. Then I'm going to go in with 1 cup of cornstarch and 1.5 cups of flour. Then next I'm going to be adding in 1 egg, and I cracked the egg into a separate container before adding it because if your egg is not good, your batter won't be good if you just add it straight to your flour and so on. So I used 2 cups of water to get this to the right consistency needed to coat my chicken. So you just want to whisk everything together with 2 cups of water. And you get this right consistency that is needed. So that's all good. I'm just going to dunk the chicken pieces in the batter, and I'm just going to mix everything together, ensuring that each piece of chicken is well coated in the batter because the batter has majority of the seasoning. And I'm going to leave this now to sit for 30 minutes before I start frying. So about that time, I have about 4 to 5 cups of oil in my pot here, which is over medium heat, and here's my chicken now, and I'm using some corn oil. You can use the oil of your choice. And you want to bring your oil up to about 350 degrees before you start frying your chicken pieces, and also ensure that your pot is over medium heat. So about that time for me, I'm going to be adding in the chicken pieces just one at a time. And as you can see, they're in, but they're not just getting brown right away. That's because the pot is over medium heat and the oil is not too hot. So that's basically it for the first batch that I'm going to fry. simply because I do not want to overcrowd the pot. You do not want to do that. You want to ensure that these are fried properly, so do not overcrowd the pot. Just allow these little to fry for 8 minutes or until they're nice and golden brown on each side. And you just want to, ensure that they don't stick to each other. So once you see that these are nice and golden brown on one side, you can go ahead and just flip them and allow them to get nice and golden brown on the other side. And now these are mine. After 8 minutes, I'm going to remove them from the pot and allow them to drain. Then I'm going to work on the sauce right away. So here I have 2 teaspoons of oil and I'm using some olive oil here. So next to this, I'm going to be adding 1 tablespoon of garlic, a teaspoon of ginger, and a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. And I'm just going to saute all these just for a few minutes. And you want to ensure that at this point your pot is over low heat because you do not want to burn that garlic and that ginger. So next I'm going to add to this a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Then I'm going to be adding in a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to mix everything together here, and my pot is still over low heat. Next to this, I'm going to be adding in 1 cup of freshly squeezed orange juice. Now if you're going to use store-bought orange juice, ensure that it's orange juice that sugar hasn't been added to. If that is what you have, you just need to use less sugar. Now I'm just mixing everything together here, and my pot is still over low heat. So to kick things up a little, I'm going to be adding in a 1/4 cup of vinegar, and the vinegar I'm using here is white wine vinegar. You can also use regular vinegar. Next, I'm going in with 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Then I'm going to mix everything together, and now I'm going to increase the heat under my pot. I'm going to turn this up to medium heat. And of course, allow this to come to a nice boil just for a few minutes. And I'm loving the smell that I'm getting from this already. Next to this, I'm going to be adding in some cornstarch and water, a mixture of it. So I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to 4 tablespoons of water. I mixed it together, and I'm going to add it to this a little at a time. The cornstarch is what will allow this to become thick. So I'm actually going to add everything, but a little at a time, as I said. So here I'm just mixing everything together, and my pot is still over medium heat. And I'm going to allow this to come to a nice boil. This is getting thick already. So you need to just keep on mixing. And once you see these bubbles, you know that yes, your sauce is nice and ready. This is smelling so good, and I'm telling you, this sauce is tasting so good as well. So I'm going to turn the stove off now. You don't want to keep the heat under this now. Once the sauce is nice and hot, ready, now time to add in the chicken pieces. And I'm just going to add all mine in. Then as soon as it's all in, I'm just going to mix everything together, ensuring that each piece of chicken is nice and coated in this orange sauce. And this won't go soggy really quick because guess what? Your chicken is nice and crispy. So this is not finished as yet. We want this to have a specific taste. So yes, you have to use this oil to get that taste. I'm going in with just 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. You have to add some sesame oil to this to get that kind of nutty like taste. Yes, so then that's basically it for the orange chicken. But from me, I have to add some sesame seeds to this to give it a nice look. That's right. And then I also went ahead and I added some scallions on top of this just for a nice presentation. And I'm serving this, guys, with some easy egg fried rice. That was so delicious, and this goes so well with this. So if you want to see how I made my egg fried rice as well, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll definitely let you see how to make the easiest and the best egg fried rice. So as usual, guys, if you like the video, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn your post notifications on. Until next video.